You're not treating yourself. You're weak. Marcus Aurelius saw this in Rome's decline. Here's the math you're avoiding. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." You know what your impediment is? That $7 latte you needed this morning. You say you can't afford to invest, but you spent $7 on coffee. That's not a budget problem. That's weakness. You say you're too broke for retirement savings, but you dropped $15 on food delivery apps yesterday. That's not being poor. That's being undisciplined. You say you don't have extra money each month, but you've got a $200 monthly coffee habit. That's not financial hardship. That's self-sabotage. Let me show you what you actually deleted today. That $7 coffee, invested at 10% average return over 30 years, $328,988. You deleted $333,000 for convenience. How many times this week did you choose immediate comfort over your future self? Marcus Aurelius saw this exact pattern in ancient Rome. The empire was collapsing. Citizens had wealth, opportunity, resources, but they chose comfort over discipline. Take Lucius Verus, co-emperor with Marcus, inherited massive wealth, access to the entire Roman treasury, spent it on banquets, entertainment, daily luxuries, died broke at 38, forgotten by history. Meanwhile, Marcus lived simply, invested in philosophy, built systems, ruled during plague and war, left a legacy 2,000 years later. Same resources, different choices. Or look at Crassus, richest man in Rome. Had 200 million sesterces, roughly $2 billion today, spent it trying to buy comfort and status. Died with his mouth filled with molten gold by his enemies. Sound familiar? Different era, same weakness. You're choosing Lucius Verus. You think you're building wealth. Let me prove it to you. When's the last time you checked your retirement account balance? When's the last time you checked your coffee rewards points? You know exactly how many stars you need for a free drink. You have no idea how much you need to retire. That's pathetic. You've spent 40 hours researching which streaming services to subscribe to. You've spent 0 hours calculating your compound interest timeline. You know every movie release date. You don't know what your money could become in 20 years. Here's what you prioritize. $7 daily coffee, $60 monthly streaming, $200 weekend brunches, $50 self-care purchases. Here's what you avoid. $50 weekly investment, automatic retirement contributions, budget tracking, delayed gratification. Let's calculate your actual cost. $7 coffee, once per day, 5 days per week. That's $35 weekly, $1,820 yearly. Over 30 years at 10% return, $328,988. You deleted $333,000 for what? Convenience? Seneca said it perfectly. We are not given a short life, but we make it short. We are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it. You're not broke. You're wasteful. Here's what separates the wealthy from the broke. The wealthy see weakness compounding. You see individual purchases. Let me show you the 2 mechanisms destroying your future. Mechanism 1, the dopamine trap. Your $7 coffee triggers the same brain chemistry as slot machines. Neuroscientists measured this. Anticipating the coffee releases dopamine. Buying it releases more. Drinking it? Your brain barely notices. You're not addicted to caffeine. You're addicted to the transaction. That's why you can't just make coffee at home. Home coffee doesn't give you the logo, the ritual, the permission to feel productive. Casinos know this. They don't make money from gambling addicts. They make money from people who think it's just $20. You think it's just $7. Your brain thinks it's survival. Mechanism 2, the permission cascade. Coffee isn't your only weakness. It's the first domino. Behavioral economists studied this. They call it licensing effect. Once you give yourself permission to spend $7 on coffee, Your brain recalibrates what expensive means. $15 lunch? Not expensive. You already spent $7 on coffee. $50 dinner? You worked hard today. You bought coffee. You deserve it. $200 weekend? You've been disciplined all week. You weren't. This is how people making $80,000 stay broke. Not because of one big purchase, because of 47 small permissions per week. Seneca wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Translation, stop listening to people with no destination criticizing your map. You don't owe anyone emotional investing. You're not boring for being rational. You're building wealth. Seneca died one of Rome's wealthiest men. Know what he left behind? His wealth, his philosophy, his system of rational decision-making. The emotional gamblers he wrote about? No one remembers their names. They died broke, chasing status, driven by ego. Here's your choice. You can keep checking prices at 2 a.m., keep FOMO buying, keep panic selling, keep gambling, or you can build a system. Follow 5 questions, become rational. Most people will keep gambling because admitting ego drives your decisions hurts. Few people will choose rationality because they'd rather build wealth than feed ego. Which one are you? If you're ready to stop gambling, write this in the comments. I'm investing rationally. Not I will invest. Not I want to invest. I'm investing rationally. Present tense. Starting now. This channel is for people who want wealth, not validation. Next video. Why you're not generous. You're buying approval with money you don't have. Seneca built wealth during political chaos and market crashes. You're implementing his system now in 2025. One final question. Are you strong enough to admit your ego is bankrupting you? Cost. You're optimizing for ego, not wealth. Every decision filtered through what will people think instead of what makes sense. Stop. Here's what most people don't realize. You're not going to fix this by trying harder. That's what you've been doing. Trying harder, using willpower. I'll be more disciplined. And you're still checking prices at 2 a.m. because willpower doesn't beat ego. System beats ego. According to historical accounts, Seneca accumulated massive wealth during one of Rome's most volatile periods. Political assassinations, market crashes, wars. Never once panic sold, never once chase bought. What did he have that you don't? A system, not willpower. A system. And that's what I'm about to show you. Seneca had a practice he followed for every investment decision. Before buying, before selling, before panicking. He called it the Rational Investor Protocol. It's simple, brutal, and it will expose every ego-driven decision you make. Here's how it works. Before any investment action, you ask 5 questions. Write them down. Answer honestly. Question 1. Am I buying this because I understand the business or because I'm afraid of missing out? If the honest answer is FOMO, you don't buy, no exceptions. 90% of your worst investments fail this question. Question 2. Would I hold this for 10 years if the market closed tomorrow and I couldn't sell? If the answer is no, you don't buy it. Warren Buffett's rule. If you wouldn't hold it for 10 years, don't hold it for 10 minutes. Your ego wants quick wins. Wealth is built on long holds. Question 3. Am I checking the price because I'm gathering new information or because I'm anxious? If it's anxiety, close the app. Walk away. Seneca checked his investments quarterly, not hourly. You checking 17 times daily isn't diligence. It's emotional dependence. Question 4. If this investment goes to 0 tomorrow, will I be financially ruined? If yes, your position is too large. Your ego is risking money you can't afford to lose. Cut position size in half, then half again. Ego wants big bets. Rationality wants survival. Question 5. Am I about to sell because the fundamentals changed or because I'm scared? Fundamentals changed? Sell. Company's broken? Exit. You're scared because price dropped 10%? Hold. That's ego, not analysis. That's it. 5 questions. Before every decision, Seneca used this. Became one of Rome's wealthiest. Warren Buffett uses a version of this. Became one of history's greatest investors. Not because they're smarter than you, because they have systems that remove ego from decisions. Here's how you implement this starting today. Step 1. Write these 5 questions in your Notes app. Step 2. Before any buy, sell, or portfolio check, read all 5. Answer honestly. Step 3. If you fail any question, you don't take that action. No exceptions. Step 4. Track your decisions for 30 days. You'll see your ego trying to rationalize exceptions. Step 5. After 30 days, review. Which decisions did the system prevent? Calculate how much money it saved you. That's it. 5 questions. 30-day commitment. Simple. But your ego will hate it because your ego wants to feel smart. Make moves. Be active. The system demands you be rational. Stay still. Be patient. Most investors can't handle that. Here's what happens when you follow the rational investor protocol. Week 1. You realize how often you check prices for no reason. Your hand reaches for your phone. System stops you. Am I anxious or gathering information? Answer, anxious. You close the app. First win. Week 2. You almost buy something because everyone's talking about it. System asks, do I understand this business or am I FOMO driven? Answer, FOMO. You don't buy. Stock drops 20% the next week. System saved you. Week 3. Market drops 5%. You panic, want to sell everything. System asks, did fundamentals change or am I scared? Answer, scared. You hold. Market recovers in 2 weeks. Wealth preserved. Week 4. 0 emotional decisions. Your portfolio is stable because you stopped ego-driven losses. Month 2. Your anxiety about investing drops. You check prices once weekly. You're sleeping better, working better. Month 3. You're not smarter. You're just not ego-driven anymore. And not gambling is how wealth compounds. Here's what people won't tell you about rational investing. When you start using this system, people will call you boring, missing out, not a real investor, or scared. Let me be clear about something. People who gamble want you to gamble too, because your discipline makes them uncomfortable. Your ego-driven friends making 17 trades monthly, they need you to validate their chaos. When you stop, when you build systems, when you're rational, their ego interprets your discipline as judgment. It's not. You're just not gambling anymore. Seneca wrote, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Translation, stop listening to people with no destination criticizing your map. You don't owe anyone emotional investing. You're not boring for being rational. You're building wealth. Seneca died one of Rome's wealthiest men. Know what he left behind? His wealth, his philosophy, his system of rational decision-making. The emotional gamblers he wrote about? No one remembers their names. They died broke, chasing status, driven by ego. Here's your choice. You can keep checking prices at 2 a.m., keep FOMO buying, keep panic selling, keep gambling, or you can build a system. Follow 5 questions, become rational. Most people will keep gambling because admitting ego drives your decisions hurts. Few people will choose rationality because they'd rather build wealth than feed ego. Which one are you? If you're ready to stop gambling, write this in the comments. I'm investing rationally. Not I will invest. Not I want to invest. I'm investing rationally. Present tense. Starting now. This channel is for people who want wealth, not validation. Next video. Why you're not generous. You're buying approval with money you don't have. Seneca built wealth during political chaos and market crashes. You're implementing his system now in 2025. One final question. Are you strong enough to admit your ego is bankrupting you?